सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतः चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। धर्मः प्रोज्झितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम्। श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तत्क्षणात्। Sati Dakshayani has come down to Lord Shiva, and then she says, Vimanayanaha sapreshtaha nishkakantaki suvasasaha. Every husband is taking his consorts, his wife or wives as the case may be, in the Vimana. The Vimana is so beautifully decorated. The ladies are wearing such beautiful ornaments and dresses, and They are looking so beautiful going to attending to that Yajñotsava. Hey Nath, why is it that we are not going? And when I did ask people, they were of the opinion that, we should have received. Did you not send RSVP? My father wouldn't have forgotten you, but finally, hearing Sati speak like this, Evam Giritraha, having given her requisition, Lord Shiva opened his eyes as though. He says, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Tvayoditam Shobhanameva Shobhane Anahuta Apyabhiyanti Bandhushu. What you say is really good. And the final thing that you did conclude saying that those whom you consider yours own, you don't need an invitation. I agree. But, kintu parantu, if you have watched enough of these TV series of Ramayana and Mahabharata, you should have gotten hang of these two words, kintus and parantus. Samsmarito marma bhidaha. Sorry. He says, hey Devi, this should be done only if from the other side they reciprocate with love and attitude of belongingness. If there is any kind of tapa, krodha, then we should not go there unless we are invited. An invitation is must. Now, having heard from her own husband, she probably did not, you could imagine, आप कभी भी ऐसे ही बोलते हो. Then he goes into a further, and the very beautiful part of this whole dialogue between Sati, Dakshayani and Lord Shiva is the non-involvement of Lord Shiva with any kind of anger or malice from the past. He is just totally wiped that part of his memory very clean, and he is speaking with a very objective perspective. He says, Vidya tapo Vitta vapur vayah kulaihi Vidya tapa dhana vapuhu good body, and vayaha nice age, charming age, and kulaihi a great lineage or ucha kula. These 6 factors, satam gunaihi, wherever these 6 qualities are there, they say that such person is Shrestha, Uttama Purusha. True. So what are these 6? Vidya, Tapa, Vitta, Vapuhu, Vayaha, Kula. Can you ask them to talk slowly? I am having a mic and they are speaking louder than that. Right. So the 6 are the Vidya, Tapa, Dhana, Sharira, good Sharira, Vayaha, good age, and Kula. These 6, they are Satpurusha. They must have incurred some kind of punya from their past lives, and they have these 6 things available for them. Very rare are these 6 that we find in one person. If there is Vidya, if there is Tapa, the attitude with which one can look at life, wherein he is ready to face anything in life. for the goal or the vision to be achieved. This is perseverance. Tapa. Now if Vidya and Tapa is there, Dhana is not there. The Vidya, Tapa, Dhana is there, then there is no Sudruda Sharira. By the time you have earned Dhana, now you end up spending it on the insurances. So much of health insurances and that insurance and this insurance, you keep spending there. And then Yuva Avastha. Yuva Avastha is the Vapuhu, wherein you are of the right age. And then having these 6 is such a beautiful quality. But Devi, Smritau Hatayam, but if the vision is lost that these 6 have to be used for a higher purpose, these 6 can become dosha in that Satpurusha themselves. Instead of making use of these 6 qualities to grow higher, they get bound by these 6 qualities. How can they get bound by these 6 qualities? Very simple, is that we get the ego, ahankara of having these 6. I know more than anybody else. I have lot of perseverance. If there were anybody else in my situation, they would have gone, chickened out. It was but for me that I stood there. The ahankara. This is all of sattvic ahankara. So vidya, tapa, dhana. Dhana we need not, even if there is little dhana, then we have lot of ahankara. When the kids start losing their teeth, and the parents out of little love, pampering, they give fairy tooth fairy. Yeah, I have not grown in this culture, so there is some kind of few dollars, or not even few dollars, some cents or something is kept, and then the kid comes next day. I am rich by this much. Richness is only a standpoint from where that is not a point to stand on, it is just a standpoint. But then we get the abhimana, the ahankara, duragraha of having that kind of wealth. Sharira, Sudruda Sharira. Sudruda Sharira is agile body with lot of curves in the body. What do they call it? The biceps and the triceps and V-shaped body. 6 packs, abs. Flat abs. Now where did I pick up all this vocabulary? Watching the ads. Bowflex? That's where they talk all this language. Firm and toned muscles. This is Sudruda Sharira. Not just the muscle and the bones part, but even the skin care. The spa treatment, wherein every pore is opened up. Every pore looks glowing after the treatment done. I am talking as I have done it myself. I have just heard of it. So that is called the Sudruda Sharira. That which you can show off. By the time you are coming to an age wherein you are covering it with various things, Sudruda Sharira is gone. So I am not talking of that Sharira. You cover it with color or wigs, or then you cover the eyes with another layer of contacts. The external thing, it doesn't go with my body. So I wear the contacts. You may be fooling the world that you have a Sudruda Sharira, but then you know how much you can take and how much you cannot take. Then the third one is Yuva Avastha. Yuva Avastha, some might argue that Yuva Avastha means a mental attitude, an aptitude to learn hunger to learn. Let me take a break. Take a time out. Yuva avastha here means those who are in the age wherein their body is of great agility and their minds are fresh, innovative. Both when combined, it is not that I am young at heart. I am not talking of that people as Yuva avastha. Yuvaka, the one who has that spirit, the innovativeness, the freshness of thinking, along with the agile body, firm convictions, such one is Yuva avastha. And Uccha Kula. The other day, after a long day, I think I turned on the TV. And instead of news, there were these dog show. One dog, two dogs, you can see, you say, okay, appreciate it, cute. Fine. Line pe line lagate ja rahe, dog after dog, dog after dog, dog after dog. The only thing that caught my attention is every dog as it passes by, they talk of its pedigree, of how pure the breed is, how pure the breed and the you could call the lineage of that dog. And then they describe that this was from Austria, and this was used for this purpose, and this was brought in here, exported, and it is a pure breed of that kind. Then there are some others say then it is pure breed of this and pure breed of this. And the moment it is a combination, it is no more pure. It's called hybrid. I would like to use my own vocabulary here. Hybridized. They don't get good points. It is a pure breed that gets. When we talk of our dogs and horses of pure breed, why not human beings be of pure breed? Uccha Kula means of a pure breed, without any malice in the lineage. These six are very, very Visishta. And it is the sadhu phala. Because of your earlier life, you have gotten those six qualities. But when you get the abhimana, such people get trapped in these six alone. He says, O Dakshayani, do not get trapped with this bondage of bandhu, because it is only those people whom you have taken close to your heart have the capacity to hurt you more than you can imagine. Which is so true. When you compare, you getting angry with some Tom, Dick and Harry whom you don't know, it's a one-time thing and you just burst out and then you forget. Normally you don't even care to burst out. If it is so irritating that you do burst out, but it is one-time thing and you forget. The same kind of a situation if it were your own and somebody said something to you, done something to you, and the way you would feel. It says, do not fall into the trap of this bandhujana and all these mitratva and all these things, because those who are close to your heart alone can hurt you the best. Having said that, he says, Tatharibhir navyathate shili mukhaihi. If a shatru shoots at you with the astra and shastra, the pain is just physical and you get over it over a period of time. But if it is something that it is swajana, kutilata, swajana kutilata, if somebody has hurt you purposefully, to get over that becomes very difficult, and in that hurt what happens is miserable things. Having said so much, he says, your father, last time when I had visited, not that I wanted to share this, but you are insisting, so I would have to share this piece of information with you. Last time I had visited, whatever had happened, This time when you go uninvited, sure that you will not get the same kind of love and sammana that you had all this while. Let me warn you, forewarn you. Then he says, you may ask me that, and he must have already narrated the story to Dakshayani, that her father came in and then he did not stand up and her father felt really bad. All that Vrittanta must have been given. So Lord Shiva covers that aspect also before she could ask. He says, this comes in the 22nd shloka. Vidhiyate sadhu mitas sumadhyame. He sumadhyame. Hey Dakshayani, you say that, when you may be thinking in your mind that, why did I in first place insult your dad by not standing up? Why did I not show vinayatva? Why did I not be modest and humble? I could have stood up. He says, those who are established in self with what I have done would not have reacted. This, the sadhu loka knows very well, that when there are people who are established in self, they are in their own reveling in a different state, they respect each other for that state and they don't expect anything out of them to be respected. But here comes your dad, who was so much in abhimana with his own sharira, his own name, his own fame, his own sthiti, that he expected for me, the one who was sitting in meditation, totally oblivious of the fact that he is expecting or anticipating, he got angry. And the cause is not because I have stood up or not stood up. It is because of his own abhimana to whatever he is, that he thinks he is. That is the cause of his pain, misery. And it has nothing to do with me getting up or sitting down. It is his abhimana which was not appreciated by me or some people. So, please do not go there, because he still thinks that I have done something wrong and I have not apologized, and for that aparadha he is going to give you the danda when you go. Having said that, who is saying this? Lord Shiva himself. Dakshayani says, पर मेरे पिताजी ऐसे नहीं है. मेरे पिताजी ऐसे क्यों करेंगे? Why would my dad do like this? In fact, of all the 16 daughters, I am his dearest one. He pampered me so much. Lord Shiva is like, after having said this much, Virarama Shankaraha. This comes in the 4th chapter, 1st shloka. Ye tavaduktva virarama shankaraha. Virarama. He said, I am done saying what I have to say. Now the decision is yours. He keeps quiet. And then Lord Shiva is keeping quiet. In front of him, he is pacing this Dakshayani up and down, talking. You know, as they say, when you are really frustrated, your decibel levels go higher, assuming that your increase in decibel level is going to prove the logic or serve the purpose. So she is almost like screaming on the top of her lungs and saying, my dad won't be doing like that. And in fact, I am going to meet all the other sisters, my other uncles, aunts, their children, their grandchildren. It's my house. I don't need an invitation. She is not getting that simple point because she is so hung up on that one issue that it is her father's house. of what was the earlier situation and what is the situation now, she somehow is not able to relate. And now she, pacing up and down in her own chanchalata, looks at Lord Shiva and says, मैं चलती हूं फिर भी, I want to go. And Sati says, I want to go. Lord Shiva says, he doesn't say anything. He says, okay, fine, as you please. And then he also knows that she is so vyakula, so disturbed from within, that her, with a beautiful description there, I'm amused at myself that I'm attracted to such kind of poetic gestures here. That her eyes, which were like the lotuses, filled with rainwater, as though one little breeze and that water that got filled in that lotus would burst out of those dams of komal petals of her eyes, and she would start into tears. The tears were on the brim. And he also knew that with stopping her, there are two issues. I mean, if he stopped her, there would be one result, and if he did not stop her, there would be one result. And then with his Yoga Maya, he understood that both results would be same. If he stopped forcefully, she would think that it was his ahankara which is not letting his wife go to her parents' house. And then she would commit something for which there would be no coming back. And she would have gone to her father's place. She would have been hurt by her father's mistreatment of Shankara. And she would feel bad. The problem was that she was in love in both places. Not ready to let go both. क्या typical है ना? Even in today's world, it is the same thing. As they say, एक साइड खाई, दूसरी साइड कुआं. Wherever you go, it is the same kind of a result. So with his yoga drishti, he saw the result. If she stays here, she is going to destroy herself. If she is going there, she is going to destroy herself. So I said, let Vidhi take its own course. Whatever has to happen, let it happen. He kept quiet. And then as she started leaving, Tam anvagachan drutavikramam satim ekam. She started going alone. Now when she started going alone, as a pati dharma, he said, it is not good, befitting of her to go alone to his father-in-law's place. So what did she do? What did he do? He called his immediate Gana. He called Manimana. Hey Manimana, why don't you take our Parshada, our own army and people. So half of you go ahead of her and half of you behind her. Take her in a royal carriage. So Nandi took her. Nandi was the official Vahana, Nandi Airlines. Nandi was the Vahana. So she got onto Nandi, and then with the Parshadas in the front and back, and then she went there. As she approached, Tamagatam tatra na kaschana adriyat vimanitam yajnakruto bhayajanaha. As she went into her father's place, father did not even look at her. In fact, looked at his wife and other children like, ये क्यों आई है? Why is she here? Is she invited? thought, enough. So why is she moving here and there? Why is she why is she here at all from the first place? Was a statement of the dad, and then she felt so bad. Then she turned towards her mother, wanted to invite her, but the father was so disturbed, she didn't dare to even go ahead and say, Sati, please come in. And then she looked at the sisters. The sisters also bent their head down, not able to look at her eye to eye. And then, as if this was not sufficient, she turned and looked at the Yajna Kunda. As she looked at the Yajna Kunda, she saw that normally there is a share for Mahadeva, and that share is not found. That share is not found in that particular place where it is supposed to be for Mahadeva. He said, this is too much. Insult of the highest order. There is almost tears in her eyes. She goes in front of the sabha wherein her father is performing this. Shri Devi Uvacha. She says, hey God, hey Father, this is unlike of you to do such a kind of treatment. I thought it was just to me, but the way you are treating Shankara as though it was his fault. He is the one who is even worshipped by Brahma, Vishnu. He is the one who is worshipped by the other devas. What has happened to you that you do not see that standpoint? That because of which he is called Shiva, his auspiciousness. And it seems somebody from the back, as she was saying, uttered, he is even a kalanka to that name Shiva. What does Shiva mean? Shiva means auspicious. Shubham karoti iti Shivaha, Shankaraha. So when Lord Shiva, he said he is a kalanka, he is not even Shiva, he is ashamed to be called as Shiva. And the reason that was given was, all that which is called unauspicious, tam amangalakaram, he represents them. He is a personification of all amangalakara. That he is only the nama matra Shiva. Kim va Shiva Shivakhyam Ashivam. This comes in the 16th shloka. Because he goes to Smashana, he wears the Naramala, the skull mala, and he wears the Chita Bhasma, and then he holds on to all the bones and things like that. Now this, he said, enough is enough. Dad, I am feeling insulted that I call myself as your daughter. You who do not respect my husband and have given me in marriage to him, every time that somebody calls me Dakshayani, now so far I had a smile on my face thinking of you as such a great father, but we with such kind of meanness, I don't think I would love to be called as Dakshayani and would like to offer myself to Lord Shiva. Hence, and so far what she said was one thing. Now she stopped saying and did something. She went inside, changed into yellow robes, took Achamana, and then sat facing north. And she took Sankalpa, that this Sharira which is born of you, O Father, I am giving it up. before anybody could act, react or say anything, she had already closed her eyes. It is said that she controlled her apana vayu and brought it up to her prana vayu and merged it in her prana vayu, and then from the kantha marga she took that prana vayu which was balanced till the anahat chakra to her bhrukuti, and there she thought of Lord Shiva and then with her tapo shakti she invoked fire. Normally what is said is she jumped into the fire. No, she invoked fire, because that fire that was lit there had its own purpose. To dramatize things, people show it that there was already the fire in the Homakunda and she jumped into it. No, she did not jump. She sat down and invoked fire in herself and gave up the body. Now by this time all her parshadas and people who were there, they gathered up seeing that Sati was insulted or she is now giving up her body. They gathered up to run. Daksha called his army, and what Bhrigu did was that as he was sitting at the Dakshinagni, he uttered a mantra, Apahatam Rakshasva. And with that mantra, when he started offering in it, from there was a Yajna Purusha, Rubhu, born, and he scared the living daylights of these Parshadas and kicked them out. Some of them panting, some of them crying, came down to Kailasha. As they came down to Kailasha, they already saw that Naradji was present, already informing this to Mahadeva. Bhagavan, I am sorry to inform that Dakshayani has given up her body. This is the only piece of information as it is said here in the first shloka. It is only the dramatization of the later people that they add things into it. She was insulted and then they insulted you and they killed all these people. No, those pieces of information were given by the Parshadas that came back running. As soon as he heard this, Kruddhasutustoshtaputaha sadurjatihi. Durjatihi, the one who had all this jata on his head, Kruddhaha bhavat. He became so angry, he got up, and then as he got up, he took hold of one jata and then pulled it out and then smashed it on the floor. Tadit, he smashed it on the floor. As he smashed it on the floor, he saw that there was a huge Purusha born out of that. Hey Veerarudra, as Lord addressed him, Veerarudra folded his hands and said, Tam kim karomi ti grunantamaha baddhanjalim bhagavan bhutanatha. Kim karomi iti tam aha. So he asked the Lord, what is it that I am invoked for? What is my duty? There is this word in Sanskrit which is often used, kinkaraha. Kinkara is born from these two words. Kim karomi iti. So if you split that word kinkara, it has kim karaha. What am I expected to do? I am your servant, O Lord. What am I expected to do? The Lord said, go to the Daksha Yajna and destroy the Daksha's Yajna where Dakshayani left her body. And hearing this from the Lord himself, he stormed into the Yajnashala. as he was coming, approaching the Yajnashala, all those who were sitting, Athardvijo Yajamanaha Sadasyaha Anyan Brahmanan, all these Brahmanas, Ritviks and all these people, Devas, they were sitting there. They saw that there was a cloud of dust coming from that direction. They said it is not a time for Godhuli Avastha. Godhuli is when the cows and cattle come back from the field, wherever they have gone, they all come back at the same time, almost around like 4:35, and there is a lot of dust that rises up. And I don't see that there is any storm warning, tornado watch out. I just looked into the weather channel, there was nothing like that. So where is this thing coming from? All the Daksha's wife and all the women in the palace, they looked at this approaching thing and said, Bhayankaram Prasuti Mishra Striya Udvigna Chittaha. Udvigna Chittaha, they were so disturbed and distracted because of that oncoming dust storm. I said, this is all because we did not take care of our own daughter properly. The Papa is approaching. As he approached there, all the Dakshas, now this is the time for Daksha's party, his army, they ran away hither and thither. Ribhu was caught by somebody, then Daksha was imprisoned by Veerabhadra, and Maniman caught hold of Bhrigu. Then all of the main ones, they were all caught, imprisoned. The other devas, patli gali se bhag gaye. They all ran hither and thither. And then some people, Kechid Babhanjuh Pragvamsham Patni Shalam Tatha Pare Sada Agni Grashalam Cha Tad Viharam Mahasanam Mahanasam. So there was this kitchen area, the Pakashala, Agni Grashalam. That is where Agni is invoked. So that Shala was burnt down, pulled down. Some people pulled down the tent under which all this was happening. And all these people were caught hold of. And then they picked each one of them who they had heard insulting Lord Shiva or laughing at Lord Shiva. Sabke Danta Churna. Danta Churna does not mean that it is a churna for the Danta. It is not a powder made for the teeth to shine and glow. The Danta itself were mere churna. One shot and all the Danta came out. And Daksha was thrown, and the speed that he was thrown, he fell near the Yajna Kunda and half of his head got charred. And then Bhrigu was about to utter something, some mantra. Veerabhadra in his anger caught hold of his, the dadi. And then he tried to pull it and everything came out. It was a messy scene. Not a pleasant scene. It was a messy scene. See, there were a lot of prayatna done in between, which I am like cutting short. It is too graphical explanations given there. I am just picking few points and giving you the highlights. Then as this was done, people who were troubled, tortured, were fearful to go out of their places. So it is something like curfew. They didn't feel like safe going out. Then all devatas go to Brahmaji. Hey Srishtikarta, one side is your son, other side is his damad. Now you are the one who is related to both of them. and equally understand both of them. Why don't you go to both of them and find a pact for us? Why don't you go there and find some kind of a patchwork for us? Because as long as these people are in fight, there will be something or the other happening. Kindly go there and do something. Brahma ji said, Shuru kiya. I started this whole thing. Let me go and talk to Shankara. And how is Shankar Bhagavan? He is Nivritta Parayana. As soon as this was everything done, he ordered all his Parshadas, now stay put, no going anywhere else. And then he went into meditation. Ajeeb aadmi hai Shankar bhi. If so much have happened, you would not be able to focus on anything. That is his instant quick fix thing. Nothing is taken so deep that will impact his pleasantness, impact his quietude from within. Now as he heard Brahmaji approach, then Brahmaji praised Lord Shiva. Tvameva Bhagavan etat Shiva Shaktayoho Sarupayoho Vishwam Srajasi Payatyasi. Hey Lord, I know what your real nature is. I know that you are the Dharmartha Kama Moksha for this whole universe. If you think just by your thought this whole universe will be withdrawn, that is your capacity. And people like us prostrate unto your feet. O Lord, I know what Daksha has done is not good. And if you observe in Daksha's yajna, everybody is invited. But in that yajna, there were 3 people who were obviously not seen. Shiva, because he was not invited. Brahma and Vishnu, because they knew what would happen. They also did not go. They said, yes, what Daksha did was something very wrong. So Lord, how long is this going to go on? Then the Lord opened his eyes, not the third one, the normal 2 one. He opened his eyes with a smile. He said, this is in the starting of the 7th chapter. Nagham prajesha balanam varnaye nanu chintaye deva maya bhibhutanam dandastatra dhuto maya. He says, dandaha eva tatra mayo krutaha. If I had really thought of taking a revenge or something that people are thinking of, I could have finished everything. If I have the capacity to withdraw the whole universe from its existence, what is Daksha and what is his yajna? Because he had this so much of dehabhimana, I had to put it straight back on track, and I just did danda matra. I just punished him, indicating that he should correct his system. He is the one who has to lead this universe, and I just corrected him. Chalo, let's come to a pact. And he says, Daksha Prajapati, who lost his head, shall have a head replacement. See, Lord Shiva had this amazing capacity to replace heads. You know the stories, right? There's one story that we all know. We talk of organ transplantation here. He did head transplantation, including the grey and white matter inside. No DNA match, nothing. He transformed the DNA of the animal to the human system. Probably. That is not written here. That is my take on it. He says, Ajashiraha bhavati ajamukham shiraha prajapatehe dagda shirshnaha. Because half of his head is little burnt and he will not be able to use. See, when it was proper itself, he did not use his head properly. Half burnt, he will not use it at all. So let me get him a new head, and it will be Aja Mukham Shiraha. Aja Mukham, Aja means a goat. A goat head will be his. That's why whenever you find in old paintings of Daksha Yajna and such things, there's a goat headed one. That is Daksha Prajapati. And then while putting that head, he trimmed his hair. He took off the goat's hair and the he goat, or what they call it. No. I'm not talking of the goatee. That is where the goatee started, the first one. And remember what happened to Bhrigu? He lost all his beard and this whole thing was bleeding and he touched it. And the skin became alright. And then this hair of the goat was placed, and that was the first goatee. No, I'm not making it up. It is here in the 5th shloka. And then all those people who had lost their limbs, hands broken, legs broken, he requested the Ashwini Kumara, hey, can you come and fix them up? Patch them up. Tathastu. The moment they said Tathastu, everything was alright. Then, there were people, groups of people who had their Danta Churna. He said, all these devas, who are the exact ones? Pusha and the other devataha who lost their danta. You need not worry about your teeth. Your teeth will not be replaced. But instead, all the yajna, whenever there is a yajna, at the end of a yajna there is a bhojana, priti bhojana. In that priti bhojana, whatever people are chewing, the sara of it goes to you. Is it ready-made food? Having given them all their due, now Daksha said, Bhagavan, galti meri thi. And he was not having any smile on his face that time. The only reason was because of his stupidity, wrong abhimana. He lost his beloved daughter. But he gained his purity of inner self, wherein he could see straight now. And he said, O Lord, with the aparadha that I have done, aho bhavata krito me, the danda that this is in the 13th shloka, Daksha says that bhavata krito me, to you what I have done, I am not just to be punished, but I am somebody who is to be dealt with more harshly. But it is you, O Shankara, that who is so bhola, that you have let me go with so less of a punishment. And then he praises Lord Shiva, realizing his folly and mistake. And then that Daksha Yajna, which was stopped because of Dakshayani's ahuti into the self-immolation, invoking the fire, it was rekindled and finished with the presence of everybody. And then came down the Lord himself. Tam upagatam alaksha sarve suraganadayaha pranemuhu sahasothaya. Everybody got up, seeing Lord Narayana himself appear as a result of such a beautiful effort of pure minds coming together and putting their effort. This is where the Yajna Bhava Karma takes the first format or first shape, wherein Yajna Bhava Karma means when there are people who come together with selfless attitude to achieve something higher, without expecting or anticipating anything for themselves, and sharing the result equally. That is called the Yajna Bhava Karma, which is often quoted by Lord in 3rd, 4th and 5th chapters of Bhagavad Gita. He says, after having done such a beautiful effort, the Lord said, I am happy with the result of this purification. Having seen him come, Daksha, the Ritvija, all the Sadasya, Rudra, Bhrigu. O Lord, it was foolish of me to differentiate between you and Lord Shiva. I now understand that you both are the same. In fact, the Trinity that I see is nothing but one supreme consciousness alone. It was my folly. Probably in today's language, Bhrigu just said, my bad. Lord, just forgive me. And Lord just smiled. So each one of the gods, each one of the Sadasya there, pronounced their appreciation and were in so much of awe with that darshana that they had of the Lord. And then finally, the Lord said, this comes in the 50th shloka in the end. Aham brahma cha sarvasya jagatah karanam param atmeshvara upadrashta swayam drug visheshanaha atmamayam samavishya soham gunamayim dvija srujan rakshan haran vishvam dadre sanyam kriyochitam. Aham Brahma cha Sharvaha cha. Sharvaha Shivaha. Jagataha Karanam Param. I am the supreme cause for everything that exists and doesn't exist. And I am also known as the self of everybody. Atmeshwaraha. Upadrashta. When I read for the first time these two shlokas, I said, Lord Krishna must have copied it. Because in many parts, Upadrashta, Anumanta cha, Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwara, he says almost the same lines. But then, and as I was contemplating on these shlokas, I realized both are written by the same Kavi. So it is not that Lord Krishna copied it, it is the vocabulary or the poetic style of the Karta, who is our Vyas Maharaj, who has written it down. So you will find the similarities in more than one places. He says, Upadrashta, I am the one who is the very Sakshi, who is observing every movement in everything that moves. Upadrashta. Swayam Drug Visheshanaha. I am the one who does not require any effulgence from outside to illumine. I am the one who illumines everything that illumines. Na tatra suryaha bhati na chandra tarakam. That cannot be illumined by Surya, Chandra, Tara, Nakshatra. Na ima vidyutaha. Not even the thunder, not the thunder, the lightning. Kutaha ayam agnihi. Agnihi, that small little camphor fire that we have, and we keep showing it to the Lord, as though to illumine the Lord. Kutaha ayam agnihi. Even that cannot illumine the Lord, because that which is cognizing all these illuminations, that cognizing factor is what is illumining all these so-called illuminations. I am that supreme source, Jagataha Paramam Karanam. Atma Mayam Samavishya Soham Gunamayim Dvija Srujan Rakshan Haran Vishwam. Srujan, to create, Rakshan, to protect, Haran, to change. This Vishwa, Vividhatva, multitude, is my kind of a job. And how do I do it? Atma Mayam. With the Atma Maya, my own Shakti, with the Gunamayi, I manage this. So do not have Brahmanya Advitiye Kevale Paratmani Brahma Rudraucha Bhutani Bhedan Agnya Anupashyati. It is only the fools that who see that me, Brahma, Rudra and all these Bhutaganas are different. Not Bhutaganas, all these creatures, all these beings are different. It is only with the Ajnana that you see. But what I am is the Advitiya Tattva alone. No forms, no names can limit. I am that formless entity. Kevale Paramatmani. I am that Paramatma as recognized by the Munishreshta. Having thus said, he disappeared, having given his message to all these people. In spite of hearing this whole story, I tell you, we have people still fighting to prove who is greater God. My God is greater than yours, your God is greater than. It's just hypocrisy. Shiva is greater than Vishnu, and Vishnu is greater than Shiva. When you go back in India, it is a very funny situation because you have these within the Sanatana Dharma, different sects fighting with each other, as though the confusion was not sufficient. Add 2 more or 3 more. Our Allah is greater, our Jesus is greater, our Mary is greater. There is only one Supreme, and that one Supreme himself has said that there is no difference, and we still cling on to our own restrictions, to our own groups, and fight with each other. You know, when we were young, there were these small little stories that were told to us. There were 2 cats fighting for a piece of bread. You know that story, right? And as they were fighting, meow, meow. So one cat said, meow. The other cat said, kyaw. Meow. The other said, kyaw. They were fighting with each other. And this Bandar Raja came down. He said, Are, Billi Bhaiyo, why do you fight? There's a piece of bread. He wanted, I wanted. That's so simple. So he purposefully tore off 1/4 and 3/4. And he gave. He gets more. So this Bandar took from here, instead of giving it there, said, okay, this much is more, okay, I eat it. Now that fellow said, unmindful that the Bandar just ate. Now he has more. I said, how much is more? Okay, that much, okay. And that much he took and ate. Finally, what was left with these 2 billies was nothing. Now I am not going to end it with a moral, saying that this is the moral of the story and then you should have gotten the hint by now. Anyway, moving forward. The Lord, while leaving, he said, may your dharma be established in your buddhi, from where all actions gets executed. So may your buddhi always be pratisthita in the dharma. Dhiyo yonaha prachodayat. That is what it means. That may that dharma be enlivened, may that dharma be shining in my upper story. Whatever I learn, let that wisdom shine forth through my actions. Now, as they were concluding, they said here that, Maitreya says that this story was given to him by the Lord through Uddhavji, and those who hear to this story, this is what is said in the 61st shloka, idam pavitram paramesha chestitam, this act of Lord Shiva, those who hear this pavitra vrittanta, yashasasyam ayushyam aghaugamarshanam, you get lot of fame, ayu, and your papa is washed. If you still have the doubt, how can hearing to the story wash? Then only one thing that can be said is, you did not hear through with Shraddha. If you had heard it with Shraddha, you would not have that doubt called how. Now, I am not joking in this part. If you have that Shraddha and listen through it, or allow Bhagavad to flow through, every single time it flows through with different aspects, as though it is a layer of unnecessary burden is taken out. That is the experience. Now, having completed this Vrittanta of the girls of Manu and Shatarupa, and different aspects, different main stories of their lives. The boys of Manu and Shatarupa, their story is now taken for discussion. Now, after this whole fourth canto is done, the last day, I am going to have an exam. You should come up with the family tree for all this, and whatever name I ask, you should be able, the name, and it will be like match the following. There will be two names given. One, like example, Manu Shatarupa. So you need to fill the blanks. What was Manu to Shatarupa? I'm just kidding. Everybody is like, are you serious? We can. So now, how many children were for Manu and Shatarupa? I have already answered it. 5 of them. Okay. How many girls? And how many boys? 2 boys. Now is the tricky question. What were the names of the 3 girls? Devahuti, Akuti, and Prasuti. Their stories we have already heard. Now, the 2 sons. Who were the 2 sons? Priyavrata and Uttanapada. So that story is taken. Priyavratottanapadau Shatarupapate Sutau Vasudevasya Kalaya Rakshayam Jagatasthitau Jaye Uttanapadasya Sunitis Suruchirtayoho Suruchih Preyasi Patnihi Itara Yatsuto Dhruvaha. Now, they had 2 sons, Manu and Shatarupa. One of the sons was Uttanapada. This Uttanapada had 2 wives, Suruchi, Suniti. Very beautiful name, Suniti. If you are opening a restaurant, Suruchi. But if it is your daughter's name, that's Suniti. Sushtu Nitihi, Purna Nitihi, the one who was well established in values, Niti. And Suruchi Prayasi Patni. Uttanapada had a special liking for Suruchi. And then the other one had a son, which means Suniti had a son whose name was Dhruva. Ekada Suruchehe putram ankam aropya lalayan. Uttanapada was having Suruchi's son. What was Suruchi's son's name? His name was Uttama. Uttama was in Uttanapada's lap. The other son, Dhruvam, Rajabhyanandanan. He said, Raja, can I also come and sit there? Okay, how old were they? 5 years old. Imagine, little short or whatever that they were wearing, or little dhoti or something, and then coming with those tiny little legs, and Raja, can I also? Then came in between. Suruchihi Shrunvato Rajnyaha. Suruchi came in between, and wearing a sari probably. She took the one side of the sari and said, where are you running to? Huh? You are like, your father's lap. And he said, on the father's lap. For that you need to have punya. You don't have that punya. And what is a punya? You should have been born in my garbha. Nagrahito maya yatvam kukshau api nrupatmajaha. You are durlabha. I mean, you are having a bad luck that the durlabha yoni of mine you are not born in. To sit in Uttanapada's lap, you should have been born as my son. With all this much of arrogance, I am surprised she still gives a good advice. That is called Satya Yuga. And if this kind of a scenario would have happened in Kali Yuga right now, right in this environment, in this world, you know what would have been the next dialogue? Chullu var pani mein doob mar. This would have been the statement. But what does she say? She says, Tapasaradhya purusham tasyaiva anugrahena me garbhe tvam sadayatmanam yadichhasi nrupasanam. This is in the 13th shloka, in the 8th chapter. He says, Tapasa aradhya purusham. Go worship that Narayana, the supreme, primordial Narayana. With his anugraha, you can be born in my garbha if you want to sit in your father's lap. Now Maitreyi says, how blind that king was, that when his own son was not being treated properly by Suruchi, did not say a word. With lot of rosha, Dhruva turns back to his house, crying. Now if he had rosha, why was he crying? What do you expect out of a 5-year-old? He was just expecting some kind of a vatsalya from his father. And he was almost like broken from within. As Suniti saw this Dhruva coming, Sunitihi utsanga uduhya balam. She took this kid in both her hands and tightly hugged that kid and said, "Oh kid, it was so wrong of you to go and ask for a seat in his lap, because he doesn't even treat me like, or he doesn't even like me being called his patni, or even be called as his dasi. Now such one's putra, he won't even entertain. But whatever be it, your stepmother has given you the right advice. Go worship Narayana, but with a difference. Go worship Narayana so that he can lead you to the right path." So she says, Aradha adhokshaja pada padmam yadichhase adhyasanam uttamo yatha. If you want to get the uttama gati, worship that Narayana. Not just this small gati of sitting in your father's lap. Uttama gati, that which cannot be shaken by anybody, that which cannot be taken, conquered by anybody. That kind of gati you seek. Now one has to remember, how old is Dhruva? Compare. Before we proceed further, compare. How old are we? How many times more older are we than Dhruva? If you are 20 years old, you are 4 times. If you are 10 years old, you are 2 times. If you are 80 years old or 90 years old, you are that many times. And he had the Nama Sarthakata. He was Dhruva, and his conviction was also that Dhruva, firm. He was not like the kid who would like cry and then sleep and then wake up. That was yesterday. So let me start something new today. No. And this was not a conviction for all petty things. I had a PSP or a Xbox, I don't get the new version, so I am angry. Not for these petty things. He is talking of directly Narayana and asking for the highest. So such Dhruva with conviction, he left his father's place. Evam sanjalpitam matuhu akarnya athagamam vachaha sanniyamya atmanatmanam nishchakrama pituhu purat. He left that kingdom and he was walking. Every time I think of it, my heart just stops there. You have to imagine a 5-year-old walk out of a city, jayega kahan? Probably on my, I cannot be serious for much time. Immediately on the humorous side, my mind starts singing. Probably this was the song that he was singing. Jaun kahan bataye dil, duniya badi hai sang dil, चांदनी आई घर जलाने सूझे न कोई मंजिल. Now as he started walking out directionless, not knowing what to do, where to do, how to do, but he had a conviction so firm that it brought Narad ji from heavens to talk to him. If you have that conviction within, that clarity within, the Guru comes into your life, Baba. You don't need to publish in Monster, monster.com or anywhere else. Guru required. Qualifications. Must be enlightened. Must have 10 to 15 years experience. to pamper me, though not spoil. Put up with all the nonsense that I throw up. Guru chahiye. You don't need to search. The moment your intensity and conviction within grows strong, Guru comes. Knock, knock. Who is there? Somebody who has come to make you a nobody. And thus comes Naradji. So Naradji looks at this Balaka. He says, at this age he should have been playing with the toys and running around. What is he doing going towards the jungle? कहीं भटक गया है क्या? Did you lose your ball or something in this? Were you playing cricket and somebody hit a six and it went into the bushes and you are running for it? Or have you lost your path? Have you lost your way? Let me drop you back at your home. So Dhruva looks at him. What? What did you just say? Drop you back? Nah. That ain't gonna happen. I ain't gonna leave from this place. He looks at this Kumara, this small little child, and then asks this child, "Oh child, though you are just 5 years old, the conviction that has been in you for whatever it is born out of that rosha. Okay. Leave your past impressions of what that conviction is born of, but maintain that conviction." So Dhruvaji says, man, such a beautiful words for a 5-year-old. He says, Bhagavan, soyam shamo bhagavata sukha dukkha hatatmanam darshitah kripaya pumsam durdarshosmadvidhaistu yaha. In the 35th shloka. Sukha and dukkha are there in the chanchala mana. And then it is only with the kripa of that Ishvara that we get darshan of people like you. But people like me are so downtrodden, good for nothing, that in spite of hearing your good words, the deep scar that has developed inside because of the katu vachan of my stepmother, there is my inside, it's like it's shattered, broken, that your words are going through me but not staying inside to make any impact. This comes in the 36th shloka. Suruchya dur vacho banaihi na bhinne shrayata hridi. My hridi is so broken that nothing that you said so far, it is good. I understand your logic of sukha, dukkha, getting out of this rosha. It is not making an impact. I am still under that grip of whatever has happened. Man, a 5-year-old to have such a clarity, amazing. But then, let me tell you one conviction of mine. O Gurottama, padam tribhuvanot krishtam jigesho sadhu vartmame. I want to get to such a level of pada, wherein Nobody else can reach, nobody else can conquer. I have to reach such a stage right now. And as it seems like my good fortune to have a darshana of Gurottama like you, can you please guide me? And that is the, I mean, though he confesses, he doesn't hide things from Narada. I'm okay only. He said, no, I have a scar. Yes, I have been deeply impacted by what has happened. I'll try to, but I'm not able to do it right now. Can you guide me? See, this is what is greatness when you look at Dhruva or Arjuna. Sooner or later, when they fall at the feet of the Guru, they do not have any kapata. They don't want to hide anything, saying, oh God, you are Antaryami, you will know. Even if you are not Antaryami, in course of time you will know who I am. There is no kapata to hide anything from the Lord. Just as is, that this is what I am. Can you put me on right track? Narada says, he felt so good listening to a 5-year-old with so much clarity. He says, sure I will. And then Naradji starts in the 40th shloka of 8th chapter. This is where the famous instruction and the saguna, sakara, worship, meditation is taught with the famous mantra upadesha of Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That Naradji just called up, saying that he will give it tomorrow, fresh. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavase. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.